Hello, everyone. I hope you've had a good week. I have been enjoying the lengthening days of spring, feeding hummingbirds, and inspired by a recent visit to the flower fields in Carlsbad, planted recently some ranunculus flower bulbs, wildflower seeds, carrots, and cilantro. And after planting about 40 seeds and bulbs, if one sprouts, I will be thrilled. So today for my talk, I will be sharing excerpts from two inspiring Dharma teachers. I will now share my screen. So I'll be speaking about the lotus and the precious jewel from these two books by Thich Nhat, as well as Dr. Nobuo Haneda. Thich Nhat Hanh's book is called A Pebble for Your Pocket, and the chapter story is called The Lotus Pond. In Plum Village, where I live in France, there is a beautiful lotus pond. Maybe one day you will come to Plum Village and you can see it. In the summer, the pond is covered with hundreds of beautiful lotus blossoms. What is amazing is that all the lotus plants in the pond come from a single tiny seed. I will tell you how to grow a lotus pond. Lotus seeds have to be planted in wet soil. They do not grow well in dry soil. But there is a trick to planting a lotus seed. If you just put the seed into the mud, it will not sprout, even if you wait 3 weeks, 5 weeks, or 10 weeks. But it will not die either. There are lotus seeds more than 1,000 years old that, when planted properly, have grown into lotus plants. The lotus seed does not sprout if you just place it in the mud, because the lotus seed needs some help to sprout. The lotus seed is a kernel with very hard skin covering it. In order to sprout, water needs to penetrate into the lotus seed through the hard skin covering it. In order to sprout, water needs to penetrate into the lotus seed through the hard skin. That is the trick. You need to make a little hole in the seed so that the water can get in. You can pierce the outer skin by cutting into it with a knife or by rubbing it against a rock. This will give water a chance to penetrate into the seed. Now, if you place it in the water or in the mud, in about 4 or 5 days, the tiny seed will sprout and become a tiny lotus plant. At first, a few small lotus leaves will appear. Soon they will grow bigger. You can keep a little lotus plant in your yard during the spring, summer, or autumn. But when it is cold, you have to bring it inside, where it will continue to grow. In the spring, you can bring it out again and put it in a larger container, and the lotus plant will grow even bigger. In 1 year, you will have a few lotus flowers, and in 3 years, you'll have a lotus pond as big as the one in Plum Village. So you see, a huge lotus pond truly is contained within one tiny seed. This tiny seed contains all the ancestors of the lotus plant. It contains their fragrance and beauty and all their characteristics. As this seed sprouts and begins to grow, it offers all these gifts to the world. Each of you is a wonderful seed like the lotus seed. You look a little bigger than a lotus seed, but you are a seed nonetheless. In you, there is understanding and love and many, many different talents. From our ancestors, we receive wonderful seeds. Our ability to play music or paint, to run fast or do math, to make things with our hands or dance, are all seeds we receive from our ancestors. We also inherit seeds that are not so nice, like the seeds of fear and anger. These seeds of fear and anger can make us very unhappy, and often we don't know what to do. Some time ago, a 12-year-old Swiss boy and his sister started coming regularly to Plum Village. The boy had a problem with his father. He was very angry at his father because his father did not speak kindly to him. Whenever the boy fell down or hurt himself, instead of helping and comforting him, his father got angry at him. He would say, "You're stupid. Why did you do such a thing?" The boy, of course, wanted his father to comfort him with kind words when he was in pain. He could not understand why his father treated him this way, and he vowed that he would never act like his father when he grew up. If he had a son, he would help him up and comfort him should he fall and hurt himself. One day, this boy was watching his sister play on a hammock with another girl. They were swinging back and forth. Suddenly, the hammock turned over and both girls fell to the ground. His sister cut her forehead. When the boy saw his sister bleeding, he became furious. He was about to shout at her, "You're stupid. Why did you hurt yourself like that?" But because he knew how to practice, he caught himself and he went back to his breathing. Seeing that his sister was all right, he decided to do walking meditation. During his walking meditation, he discovered something wonderful. He saw that he was exactly like his father. He had the same kind of energy that pushed him to say unkind words. When your loved ones are suffering, you should be loving, tender, and helpful, and not shout at them out of anger. He saw that he was about to behave exactly like his father. That was his insight. Imagine a 12-year-old boy practicing like that. He realized he was the continuation of his father and had the same kind of energy, the same negative seeds. Continuing to walk mindfully, he discovered that he could not transform his anger without practice, and that if he did not practice, he would transmit the same energy of anger to his children. I think it is remarkable for a 12-year-old boy to succeed like this in meditation. He gained these two insights in less than 15 minutes of walking meditation. His third and final insight was that when he returned home, he would discuss his discoveries with his father. He decided to ask his father to practice with him so that both of them could transform their energy. With this third insight, anger at his father vanished because he understood that his father was also a victim. His father might have received this energy from his own father. So you see, the practice of looking deeply to gain understanding and freedom from your anger is very important. The lotus seed story reminded me of this chapter 8 from Dharma Breeze by Dr. Haneda, which is entitled The Priceless Jewel Within Us. Buddhism is a teaching about discovery, immediate discovery of the priceless jewel that we already have within us here and now. What then is the priceless jewel that we already have within us here and now? Buddhism teaches us that it is life. When Shakyamuni attained Buddhahood, he simply discovered that he was life, that he had always been life. He did not create a new reality. He just discovered the reality that was already there. We usually say that he discovered the truth of impermanence, but the truth of impermanence is synonymous with life. The truth is that all things in this world, not only animate things, but also inanimate things, are alive. They are manifesting the constant newness and freshness of life. What is the perfect world that concepts such as Amida Buddha and the Pure Land symbolize? Amida Buddha and the Pure Land symbolize life, the truth of impermanence, or the truth of original suchness. Amida is a symbol of limitless life, and we are inherently life and part of limitless life. Amida, limitless life, is calling us to awaken to it through the words of our historical teachers. It is waiting to be heard and discovered. Thank you very much for listening to my talk today. And please join me in Gasho. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda, Namanda, Namanda.